Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'm going to start a series on female bodybuilding after realizing that I've only really been focusing on the history of male bodybuilding. We're going to start with a look at the history of female strength and bodybuilding over time. Here we have essentially photos of famous figures from the bronze, silver, and I guess the golden era of strength and bodybuilding in regards to women. I think this is a very important part of history as well because it's also helped us change the way we think and feel about women. And it's a very important, I think, topic to acknowledge their contribution in this era, in this beginning of the physical and fitness revolution. One of the first real popular, you could say, muscular beauties of the time, or strong women, was the Welsh strongwoman known as Miriam Kate Williams, or the stage name Vulcana. She was born in the later 1800s and died just after the war. Now this strongwoman, like many others, as you can see, they were kind of seen as freaks at the time and relegated essentially just to the stage. And I think it's really important to look back, to look real back to this time, because these women, although relegated to the stage, their ideals were about female empowerment, and essentially they were just simply trying to break down the prejudices that surrounded them at the time. Let's look at another strong woman now. Katarina Rumba, who was born in Vienna, Austria in a little bit later, 1884, and died from cancer, I believe, in 1952. Can you believe the strength of this woman here? She's carrying 3 men without without any problem. You can see in her face, almost smiling there. Also known as the Lady Hercules. Katie Sandwina was her actual stage name, and the reason was that once she performed a strength feat where she defeated Eugene Sandow. Can you believe it? She actually, I think with one arm, was able to clean and press one arm 300 pounds, I believe it was. One arm or two arm, not sure, but it was definitely 300 pounds. Pretty sure it was one arm, with one arm. And Sandow tried the feat and couldn't do it. He actually got the weight up to his chest only. Hence her name, her stage name, as the female version of Sandow became Sandwina, the great Sandwina. Unbelievable, incredible power for this woman. We move now to, I guess, the silver era. Of course, the strong women are always, the strong men and strong women were part of the bronze era. So we move to a very well-known figure known as Abby Pudgy Stockton. Now, besides being absolutely gorgeous, this particular strength athlete was promoted strongly by Bob Hoffman. And if you look at the comparison of Bob Hoffman with Wader back in the silver and later in the golden era, you can really see that Bob, he paraded the likes of Pudgy Stockton and Rosetta Gracie and a bunch of others, female strong women. And basically his message was to convey the conception of not just beauty but strength and health in women. And it is very obvious because these photos don't show that whole sexualization of women that was very obvious in comparison to the Wader magazines, which we'll now see. When we look at Wader actually, of course he was also promoting health and fitness in his magazines, but you can definitely see the difference here in that he sexualized the female. Two of the most famous figures were obviously Val Njord, the Swedish-born secretaries from LA who won many beauty pageants and was featured strongly in the late 40s and early 50s, and his later-to-be wife, Betty Wader, also known as the woman with the impossible waist. I mean, she had an absolutely ridiculous figure. I mean, look at her. She's this absolutely gorgeous blonde with a ridiculous hourglass figure. He, of course, went to marry her afterwards. And you can really see the difference between waiters, I guess, sexualization of women, concentrating on their beauty and not necessarily on their strength, and on, I guess, their fitness either. It was really more about beauty. Of course, when we now move to the golden era in the late 70s and early 80s, females started performing bodybuilding. They started getting into it. And of course, the most famous, you could say, ambassador of the sport in the more recent years was Rachel McLeish, the first Miss Olympia. Of course, the Miss Olympia back then and female bodybuilding was natural and much more beautiful than what I believe is nowadays. I mean, now the Olympia for females basically stopped, right? Because it became a freak show. These women just became men by taking all these growth hormones and insulin and God knows what they're taking. So there's really no distinction now between women and men. They just look like freaks, just like men do. It's just crazy. But I really think that the pinnacle was at this era, the golden era as well for women, and Rachel McLeish, being always a natural, was a great ambassador of the sport. This led, of course, to the, I guess, expansion of female bodybuilding in so that it became very popular and females began coming into the gyms and becoming a major part of the gym atmosphere as we now know in these days. Just as many females, if not more, join the gym than men do. And gyms became more catered to females as well, offering, chrome machines and glossy dumbbells and everything else. The fact that women started training really changed the whole fitness industry, did it not? You also had to dress better for the gyms, if you don't mind me saying, because you couldn't just walk in with a rotten old t-shirt, because the girls wouldn't like looking at you for that reason. But anyway, we have to acknowledge the influence of women in bodybuilding. It really has shaped the fitness industry over the years. This is one of the recent books that I will actually review soon. I've actually bought several books on female bodybuilding because I really do wish to start looking at female bodybuilding, especially in the bronze, silver and golden eras. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have and wish to see more about female bodybuilding, please let me know. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and thank you for watching. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.